Hey everybody, what's going on? Good evening. This is the newest episode of Sports Entertainment and Extra.
Extra
Shut your
cheese.
mouth. Don't be cussing. I'm gonna get you
Oh
in trouble.
man,
Well,
bro.
nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Sports Entertainment and Extra. She just had to be a little extra for our first time back because it's been a while. It is Ciege here, your host. I got my co-host, my main man, E. Carter. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Let's talk some football.
Yes, sir. Are y'all ready for some football? I ain't gonna sing and hit them with it for real, but they don't need all that right now. But anyway, man, I'm so excited to be back. Anything you want to say before we get into the nitty gritty of it?
Yeah, man. Ladies, I'm sorry. It's that time of year again. Um, we know Madden already dropped. 2K about to drop. Mortal Kombat about to drop. College football kicked off last Saturday. The NFL kicks off tomorrow. Yeah, just kind of relax. Plan all your dates and outings according to the football schedule. That's all I can really tell you to help guide you through this NFL season. But other than that, man, it's gonna be a great season, man. Let's get it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man, you mentioned college football just to start the show off. What a performance by Colorado Buffaloes against TCU. Primetime was not playing around. He said he ain't hard to find. He wasn't playing. They showed up and it was balling. But anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the season, just seeing how the season progressed. But hey, man, shout out to Dion, one of my most favorite players in NFL history. And football or sports history, period. So shout out to Prime. Definitely watch that, follow that. That was a great sight to see. Uh, beat the national champion runner-ups of TCU from a year ago. So that was a nice feat from a 1-15 Colorado team last year. But anyway, you know what we do mostly, me and you, man. We talk about the NFL. So we're gonna jump right into it. The first question we wanted to pose to each other today is, and mind you, we have not exposed all of our answers, y'all. When we do this show, we don't expose all of our answers. We talk football, but we don't really get into the show topics as much as we possibly can. So some of this is going to be new. But anyway, first question we posed today is who got better or the best during this whole off season? We haven't been here back on this show since I believe championship weekend of last NFL season. So we went through all of that, all the offseason, Super Bowl, all of that without speaking on this show. So out of all of that time that passed, who got better or the best?
All right. I don't know if they got. I'm going to say the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to say the Atlanta Falcons. They picked up Calais Campbell. They got Bud Dupree. They got Jesse Bates, the third back there. So you got some vets on defense, which is pretty solid. You can always do with some vets. Calais Campbell, man, I know he an ex-Raven. Kind of mad that he had to leave, but, he had to do what was best for him. He's definitely a great ball player, so that's definitely a veteran presence that they need on the line. So they got better there. Jesse Bates is no slouch, so they got better on the back end, I believe. Um, all in all, they picked up Bijan Robinson in the draft. You know what I'm saying? So as an up and coming team, I would say that had over the last couple years needed a lot of work to do, a lot of holes to fill. I would say that the Atlanta Falcons got better this offseason. It's one of the teams that got better this offseason.
Okay. I feel you on that. That's a great analysis by you on that because they did pick up one of the best players in college football to me, which is Bijan Robinson. So that was a great knowledge. They got other people on that roster too that they did not get rid of. Of course, they couldn't get rid of Kyle Pitts because he's still on his rookie deal. I mean, they could have, but he's still on his rookie deal. But yeah, that was a great. They got a lot of. We're gonna talk about them a little bit later on another question, and you probably know what that is now. My team who got better during the off season, or the best during the off season, for no reason other than not having to start Jameis Winston is the New Orleans Saints. I mean, New Orleans Saints are one of those teams where they have weapons on the outside. They have a decent, running attack. Even when Alvin Kamara is not there, it doesn't look as good, but definitely great when he's there. Just you can't have the turnovers and all of the errant throws. Now, did he throw 30 for 30 like he did in the Tampa uniform? No. But I do think that a Derek Carr led team is a little bit better than I would say about 50 to 60%, should be 50 to 60% better, if nothing alone in the passing game and limited turnovers than a Jameis Winston led team. Nothing against Jameis Winston. He shows flashes or whatever, but it seems like he's that type of guy that has to have everything perfect around him and then some. And where I think Derek Carr might have a lot to prove. So I think the Saints are one of those teams who definitely got better. He was eating a lot of W's, turning them into L's. But
The Crab King himself.
they definitely got better. For the same reason, oh man, I can't even say them now. They didn't get better. Never mind, bro. I was about to lie to you and tell you the Panthers got better, but they didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I'm thinking about who got better, it's like you really got to dig into people's offseason moves. Like everybody else, I was going to say Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, I don't want to be too biased, but they actually did get better in the offseason between signing Lamar Jackson, bringing in OBJ, bringing in Nelson Aguilar, drafting Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So overall, when you look at it like that, I think we picked up damn, I wanted to say Moses Malone, and that's definitely not that man's name.
Now
It's
you want
something.
to talk about?
I can't remember. I can't remember his first name, but his last name Moses. He a lineman. We picked up him. You know what I'm saying? So overall, I kind of want to say Baltimore because they definitely got better. The offense got better. You know what I'm saying? Which was the missing pieces that they need. But I had to actually like think about some of these, other teams that I don't follow as much. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna say it here now. One of my goals for this season is to try not to be so biased and scream everything Baltimore every week.
Says the man with the Baltimore shirt. But it's cool, bro. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? And the hat. You feel me?
I said I was gonna try. I didn't
You was
say
gonna be
it wasn't gonna
successful.
happen. I just said I was gonna try. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's why I went ahead and really thought about it. Like, man, you know what? I think Atlanta really got actual better. I know they got some key pieces, and then that kind of goes with what they did last year with the pieces that they added last year too. Like you said, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. You know what I'm saying? So they got a lot of young talent over there. So I think we'll see. Like you said, we'll talk about it later on in the show. I kind of know where you want to go with that.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't mention them. For one, because they still got a few big questions, like how is Ritter, going to play in that quarterback spot?
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
I
So we
had
got
that
some
written down
questions.
too. So that's why I was going. We could just wait and then
Yeah,
touch on it because
we
I
can
got
get
that
on them
down
later.
too.
Yeah, but I didn't. You know me. I would say the Browns normally too, because the Browns we definitely got way better in the offseason with picking up Zadarius Smith, Juan Thornhill. One of the picks that I like the most is Elijah Moore. I think that'd be great, especially just adding another slot weapon, or if they want to put him in a number two, he could really move around. Marquise Goodwin, speed threat, deep threat. You know what I mean? So we definitely got better in that aspect. It's just I'll be tired of jinxing us, man. I'll be like, man, we got better, man. Oh yeah, we look so good. And then last year happened where our defense couldn't stop, a toilet clog. So, so I'm like, dang, bro. You know what I mean? When you look at it on paper, it looked good, but I want to hold my horses a little bit on them, mainly too because of Deshaun Watson. We got to see a little bit more. I can't just say, oh yeah, Browns defense should definitely be better, especially with Jim Schwartz, and he typically can run a solid defense. But I'm not ready to say us just yet, only because you already know how that go. Another team I will say too that got better, and that's just by default too, is the Jets. Like you already know how Zach Wilson. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He came into the draft. I'm like, nah, Like,
I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna go the easy route. Like the Jets is the easy route. I mean, you get Dalvin Cook, you get Lazard, you get, you know, he came over with some people. He brought his bags with him. I guess you could say.
yeah,
So yeah,
he definitely did.
they definitely got better.
But his bar is still the Super Bowl to me, though. Like if he gets to an AFC championship and loses like he did all those NFC championships at home, then you know what I'm saying, did they really get better or did they just turn into the Green Bay AFC East? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so so that's kind of the thing with them. But anyway, any more teams you think you want to name?
It's a bunch of teams, but nah, that's really it for real.
Yeah, mostly everybody else. It kind of feels like they stayed the same. I know those other teams probably don't feel that way, but of course, but they, you know, just feels like they either stayed the same or got a little bit better. But these are the teams that we mentioned that definitely we feel like got better in the offseason. So with that said, let's move into the sleeper teams. So is there any team in the NFL that we may mention or may have not mentioned that you believe is a sleeper team to make a run to the playoffs, maybe a deep run into the playoffs?
Now, even though I got Atlanta down as my team who got better, I don't see them as a sleeper team. And we'll get into that when you talk about it. But I actually got Detroit, believe it or
Mhm.
not. So I picked the Detroit Lions, man, as a sleeper team. They wasn't that bad last year. You know what I'm saying? And Jared Goff is not a terrible quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He's not a slouch. He can definitely go out there and produce and put up touchdowns. He has all the mechanics that you need for it. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely not like, you know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't put him in the same conversation as the Crab King. At least I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So he's not no slouch. So Jared Goff, um, they also got a nice young receiving core. You feel me? You got one of the St. Brown brothers. You got Jameson Williams. You feel me? And they young, tall, make good core. You know what I'm saying? As far as receivers go, they got a solid defense, solid young talent over there. Like I said, they may be a quarterback away. Jared Goff is not a slouch, but I don't know if he's the quarterback that's going to like get him over the hump for the future because he's also been around for a little while. So
Mhm.
they might be a quarterback away. And then you got a nice backup in Teddy Bridgewater as well. So I would say as a sleeper team, I would go with Detroit. And I think in that division, they can actually win that division. So that's why I got them as my sleeper team. Not only because um, they really wasn't that bad last year, but it was the fact of they lost a lot of close games and they don't have a powerhouse division. So now you got Aaron Rodgers in New York, so he's gone. He's out of Green Bay. We don't know if Jordan Love what he's capable of doing, to be honest. So the Packers could be trash. You got the White Dak Prescott. I mean, I meant Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. Uh, you
I
got
already
Kirk.
know what you were talking about. You like that?
You're right. You got Kirk Cousins over there. I mean, Kirk Cousins wins some games, but they always lose the ones they're supposed to win too. Um, so you got that, and then what is it? Who am I forgetting? The Bears. The Bears. You can put the Bears in as a team that got better over the offseason as well, but I don't see the Bears going from worst to first either. So with that in that division, with them teams and quarterbacks that's there, I think Jared Goff has the more of the upside around him. So yeah, as far as the sleeper team as a team organization, man, I'm going Detroit, and I got as honorable mention, I got the Seahawks.
Okay, okay. So I gotta go on some of your points right here with Detroit. Detroit had a decent offense last year. They started off real hot, you know what I mean? And they ended, you know what I'm saying? They still wasn't like slouches or slow on offense, but they had a great offense. The question for me for them is just going to be their defense, whether or not they can stay solid throughout the whole year. Like you said, they lost a couple of games that they very much could have won. You know what I mean? And that offense was good. The only thing for me is I'm not a Jared Goff guy, bro. Like I don't believe in dude. You know what I'm saying? He just seeing him play and stuff like that, like watching the games or whatever. I see the timing and the potential for stuff is just some things that I feel like he lacked, which, obviously for him that don't matter to him. But for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it and I'm like, my sleeper team, one of them is the Bears. And the reason why I say the Bears is because the running game is there with Justin Fields. It's like if he could just get some people to catch the ball, one, and two, get some time in the pocket, then those rushing yards can add. Then he could triple those with the passing yards, and then he'll be another type Lamar Jackson type of player. He just
man,
he just
don't
don't
get me
got
wrong.
he just didn't have a line. They line should be better this year, but and with the division taking the downfall, they could be second in the division, first or second in the division, going to the
I thought he
playoffs.
was a running back.
Somebody. Yeah, the offensive line did too. that's the problem.
Lamar Jackson came in with all these, he's a running back accolades, but Justin Fields ran for more yards than he passed for.
Right, and they coach, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, they haven't had even close to a John Harbaugh coaching style over there at all. Like they running through coaches like we used to run through coaches. Like we still been running through coaches in Cleveland.
Because John would have fired all of them. Everybody
would have been gone. Yeah, so I don't know. So that's a sleeper team to me because I feel like they just blocks away from making more plays. But I said we talk about the Falcons. This is where we talk about the Falcons because I think the Falcons can be that team, man. And it's crazy because do I think Desmond Ridder is like going to be all world if he is the starter at the beginning of the year and plays all 17 games? No, but I do think Drake London is big enough to where he could be a red zone target. Kyle Pitts is fast and big enough to where he could be an anywhere target. Bijan Robinson to me, and we're going to talk about him later too for another topic we got because I just think he is going to be good. And the offensive line is not terrible. You know what I'm saying? I think that Ridder would be better than Marcus Mariota. Let me put it that way. And then that division, again, it's another one of those NFC divisions to where who's going to be the top? Can you really clear cut say a team is going to beat them in a division? I mean, we could say Saints.
Yeah, I mean, right now, prediction wise, you would go with the Saints being the leader in that division.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just I think that's another one where it's like, yeah, like whoever has the better quarterback play and even just a middle of the road defense, you know what I'm saying? They'll be able to overcome. And the addition of Calais Campbell to me means that there'll be a definite run stopping team, a better run stopping team for sure, just straight out the box. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why you could put them as a sleeper team. The thing is with them is it's the quarterback. Like, yeah, you got all that young talent on offense. I'm not sold on Ridder. Me personally, I'd rather get a job to Taylor Heineke. You know what I'm saying? The Heineken. Because I think he over there now. And, of course, he didn't get a lot of starting time in Washington. Like, not like he earned his job out there. Most of it was him having to step up because of injuries. But even over there, he threw for almost 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I didn't get the chance to see how many games that was, but I don't know. Like I said, Ritter's young, so it's probably a lot of potential there. I haven't really seen him play to be, you know what I'm saying, to give an actual crucial commentary on, but I'm not sold on Ridder enough to make them a sleeper team. Now, is it possible? Yeah, like we said, they did get better in the offseason, but I think it's really gonna come down to the quarterback play.
Yeah, I just think if he can come in and with some energy and make quick reads and get it out of there, hand it off to Bijan like they should be doing, and I think they'd be decent. Of course, they're gonna have to run some play action and get it to Pitts in London. I mean, if you in a red zone and you got a 6'5" receiver, a 6'6" or 6'7", however Kyle Pitts is listed at, he that fast, like you ain't got no excuse but throw it up to them. But I
Oh, and
just
they
think,
got and didn't they get back Calvin Ridley?
no, Calvin Ridley is a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Jaguar. That's right. That's right. I don't know why I thought he was with Atlanta, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then
Yeah. Okay.
then Jaguars went ahead and signed him. But yeah, so that's now if they would have had him back, that'd be a little bit different.
Right.
But
I'll be like, okay, all right. I see where you're going. That's what.
so those are the sleeper teams. Shoot, who you think is let's since we talking about sleeper teams, we might as well talk about the teams that we know is going to be solidified. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So shoot, let's start. Let's go with who you think is in the AFC and NFC championships on the early side, or you want to say that for the accolades?
Uh,
Up, everybody E dropped out, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish us up here. Oh, he just popped back in. Hold on, y'all.
hey, I was gonna say what happened.
Man's
I'm
popped out. All I heard was doo-doo-doo. I'm like, oh, everybody he dropped out, so I'm gonna
oh
head us
damn.
off. Then you pop right back in. Welcome back, brother.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I seen you leave, and then I'm like, okay, where'd he go? I'm about to push a button. But yeah, I was saying that I think we can go. We're already talking about it, so we might as well keep going and then just swing that into the accolades.
All right, cool. All right, so then who we got going? Who we got going to the to
So you
the
we are we just going to talk about playoffs or like who's winning the division or
yeah, we can go. Let's start with the division winners, bro. Who you got winning? Who you got winning the divisions? Let's start with the. We know who our uh division is, the AFC North. So we might as well start with the NFC. Just go run through the NFC. Let's start with the NFC North.
hold on, man. Let me pull it up so I can be looking at it.
Yeah.
Uh,
You already know NFC North is the
yeah, but
Lions, Packers.
you know how I always forget that one team. They be that last team that I always be forgetting about. Like, who is that? All right, so you said the NFC North.
Yeah, let's go with the NFC North first.
Like that's what we was both saying, man. I honestly, okay. Well, I had the Lions as a sleeper team. You have the Bears as a sleeper team. I think in that division, there's really no clear cut way. I think whoever goes to the playoffs in that division is still gonna have an ass record. Like it's gonna be how the NFC East was a couple years ago, to where uh Washington crept in with 8 wins type deal. So I
Right.
really don't. I really can't say who's the power. If you had to go with a team from previous years, I would have to say the Vikings. I would have to say the Vikings because one, we know the Packers don't have Aaron Rodgers. So with that being said, I'm gonna drop the Packers down because we don't know what Jordan Love gonna do. And the only other vet with playoff experience is Kirk Cousins.
Okay, so then I got that's a hard one for me because I'm looking at the Packers and their history of picking quarterbacks. They last two quarterbacks they picked been Hall of Famers, and then they gave Jordan Love time to develop. So it's hard for me not to put them first. However, I got to roll with you with the Vikings, and the main reason is they got, and it's Kirk Cousins partially, but Justin Jefferson is that guy, bro. He is that dude. So I just got to get a second to give him a shout out on here too, because he is that dude. Now receivers definitely don't run you or you know receive you into the playoffs or catch you into the playoffs. But the way he was playing last year, man, I can't even lie. So man. You know what? Forget it, man. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna say Packers. I'm gonna just go ahead, go out on a limb, and say Packers. I'm gonna say Packers win the NFC North.
Hey, go ahead and start the next topic real quick. Let me grab this.
All right. So the next division I'm gonna talk about is the NFC South, and who is gonna win who is going to win the NFC South. Now, I believe the Panthers have a good defense. I just don't know if Bryce Young is going to be that guy. Of course, number one overall pick, you would like to say that he's going to be that guy, but he's not. He's a rookie. They needed a quarterback for a reason, so we'll just keep them where they are. Falcons is definitely a sleeper. I think they'll end up probably third in that division. If the sleeper prediction doesn't come true, they'll probably be third. Just due to the Buccaneers having better weapons around Baker Mayfield, if he even finishes the whole season, but he will start. So I'm gonna predict the Saints will win the NFC South. And he kind of touched on that a little bit ago, so he kind of agreed with me there. NFC West, Cardinals, Seahawks, 49ers, and Rams. The Rams just didn't do much of anything last year. I think it'll be more of the same this year outside of Aaron Donald, who is one of the greatest D-tackle or just defensive lineman period ever to play the game. Seahawks, they might sneak their way back into the playoffs again. Cardinals, they will not. I don't think they'll be doing much this year. And as a matter of fact, I just read an article a little bit ago before we started the show that Joshua Dobbs will be starting as the Cardinals quarterback. So they definitely will not be in my NFC West top tier. But who knows? Joshua Dobbs has not been in the league that long. But
what happened to Stuart Little?
No idea. The article didn't specify. It just said that Joshua Dobbs was named the starter. So there you have it with that. So 49ers to me are pretty much a lock for that division there, in my opinion. Now, Brock Purdy had a great half of the year last year, got him to a Super Bowl and then got injured. But we can't necessarily say that he'll duplicate that performance and get them back. But that damn defense and running game is so good, man. It's like, what can you even do? Like, you can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta hope somebody get hurt, which you shouldn't be doing because to be the best, you got to beat the best. But anyway, so you heard my predictions for it. You came back on the NFC South and the NFC West. I kind of kept rolling on those because you had popped out. Who you think you got? The NFC South, though, we kind of said this. We kind of agreed the Saints. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with the Saints for that because like I said, I think that's going to be another case I think the whole NFC is just going to beat up on each other, and it's going to be not in a good way. To where it's going to be a lot of low-end teams getting into the playoffs that really didn't do nothing but just enough to beat up on their own conference, our own division. So yeah, I agree with you with the Saints as far as the NFC South. The NFC West, yeah, I'm going to go with a clear-cut 49ers. I'll go with the Niners being the top of that division. Like I said, I'll put the Seahawks at number 2. I think Geno is going to double down. I think Geno is going to come back and double down. I'm not quite sold on Geno, to be honest, but the way he looked last year, he was like comeback player of the year. He didn't come back. He looked well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, when they come back and get another starting job, you can tell why they're not the starter. Like, oh well, that's why you on the bench, cause you ass.
And he has so many chances. Like that wasn't even his first or his second chance back, and he looked pretty good. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it might just be the coaching system. It might just be the play calling. I don't know, but I think Geno comes back and doubles it down with another good season. So I'll be on the watch out for the Seahawks. But clear cut, 49ers. Even though, like you said, Brock Purdy did his thing, coming to step in and taking over last year, but we'll see what he does with a full season under his belt. But right now, like you said, with the offensive weapons that they have, besides Brock Purdy, and the defense that they got, yeah, that's pretty simple.
All right, so the last division that I didn't discuss yet will be the NFC East, which is one of the ultimate beat 'em up divisions. They just be in there, clobbering each other to death. So that's the Commanders, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. I think this is another clear cut one. I think the Eagles is going to take this division again. just because Sam Howell, I definitely don't believe in. They call him Vanilla Vic because he can run, but no.
Which is crazy. That is by far one of the craziest nicknames I've heard. I'm like, you talking about Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones, bro. Like they gave him that name arbitrarily because they cannot mean that he's that good because he's not. But anyway, yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, it did the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, and then the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts just came off of a Super Bowl appearance. Offensive line did not change much. Defensive line, I think they lost one person off the defensive line. Hassan
Yeah,
Reddick, if I'm not mistaken. But
uh, but I think they also gained another Georgia Bulldog in the draft too.
they definitely did. And then and Darius Slay, like, I mean, come on, bro. Like,
Now, I'm going to disagree with you here. Even though I don't like none of these teams in this division, not even a little bit, I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
what?
Even though I believe Dak Prescott is the black Kirk Cousins. Um,
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is the white.
it's the white Dak Prescott. So
Hey,
if you missed that little punchline earlier, just go back and rewind the show, and you'll catch
that's
it.
crazy.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, man. And that's just I don't see them no Super Bowl team. I'm not saying that, but I do see them winning that division. I don't know, man. You know, it's hard enough to get to the Super Bowl one time, let alone try to repeat. It's only a few handful of quarterbacks that's been able to do that, especially within the last 10 years. You know, we all know Tom Brady know how to get there. So taking him out the equation, you got Patrick Mahomes, and then you got Joe Burrow that have been to a couple of AFC championship games in the Super Bowl.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Everybody else really has not been to multiples.
Right. So it's like, so you know, Jalen Hurts is good. I don't know, man. I got a feeling. I feel like they strength of schedule last year will help push them over the edge last year. I wasn't sold on them all last year. I really wasn't. They got a lot of talent over there. It just seemed like every game they were just going into it already being a superior team. But that's what you get when you're in NFC. So, but yeah, I'll say I'm gonna go with Dallas. Like I said, that Prescott, you know, we all know what he brings to the table, but he definitely has weapons over there. They definitely have a lot of weapons over there that they can use. They got a solid defense. They got a solid receiving core. They got a nice running back. They got a nice line. All the everything we didn't said about all these other division leaders, the Cowboys got really all the pieces. Besides, you know, it's that question mark on the quarterback, but in that division, the only non-questionable quarterback is Jalen Hurts.
It's hard for
But
me to say the Cowboys just because of Dak Prescott's resume so far. But not only just that, like, well, mainly that because he is a fourth quarter warrior, but he'd be down 30. He'd catch up 28 of them mugs, but it'd be in the fourth quarter. And then you'd be like, where was this at all game? But not just that though. I just think, like you said, Georgia Bulldog Jordan Davis, if he is anything close to what they think, or what I think he's going to be at defensive line, pair him with Fletcher Cox, who is probably going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, that's just wild to me. You know what I'm saying? And then you got James Bradbury and Darius Slay over there. So, well, I don't know if Darius Slay even still there?
I think so.
Why do I be want to say he? Oh, because he came from there. Never mind. Yeah. So Darius Slay and James Bradbury over there. I mean, they got more defensive firepower, for lack of a better word. But I'm not gonna get into everybody that they have. But then they got one of the best centers in the game, Jason Kelsey. One of the best right tackles in the game, in Lane Johnson, or left tackles in the game, in Lane Johnson. I mean, one of the best running games in the league, and you can include Jalen Hurts in that. I think it's hard to stop teams that have a running game when It looks like 55 to 65% of most team snaps is coming out in the nickel, which whether that's a 3-3 or a 4-2 or a wide or whatever you want to call them now. Uh, I like to stick to old school names, but that is just hard for me to say that. And then I think them trading for Trey Lance is kind of an indication that he is getting real close to being done, which is a topic that we're gonna discuss a little bit when we talk about hot seats. All right, but let's go to the AFC. Man, we might as well just go ahead and get this one out of the way. We going to the AFC South, Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans, the Colts, and the Titans.
Uh, I'll say Jacksonville wins that division. I'll give it to Jacksonville. You got two rookie quarterbacks in the Colts and the Texans. Um, who knows? Who knows? They might have a good start, to their careers, but they also might not. So, as far as rookie quarterbacks, we don't really see too many rookie quarterbacks come in and flourish they rookie season. Because usually they go to teams that need a quarterback and a bunch of other things too. So, so we'll see
Right.
what they do. So I don't want to count the two rookie quarterbacks, and then you got the Titans, who, yeah, they just got a D Hop, but the Titans kind of stayed the same, man. It's like, all right, you know what you're getting with Derrick Henry, and yeah, he could run for a lot. He can go back to being the leading rusher again. He could, but it's like I think teams found a way to not let that man beat you. Like when it was new, he was beating up on teams running for 4 touchdowns. Now it's like, all right, you might be able to run for two. You know what I'm saying? We'll rather stack the box and let your quarterback gonna have to air it out. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I think you kind of know what you're getting with the Titans. And Jacksonville been up and coming. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we got Calvin Ridley, which I think he's gonna do some damage. You got uh dang man, I want to call that man Kirkpatrick. That's definitely not that man's name. What's his name? Christian Kirk.
Oh, that man Kirkpatrick. No. Yeah, Christian Kirk. I talked about him last year on the show. Where they was talking about moving him over there right around that move was happening. I thought that would be that was an underrated move, and I think that it will prove to be an underrated move this year. But well, it was an underrated move last year. It showed proved that too, but even more so this year. But yeah, man, I can't even lie, man. I would hate to. I would, sometimes, bro, I be like, man, I be want to just disagree, but I can't even disagree just to disagree or even be funny. The main thing for me is just the coaching change. And then, like, when you look at the quarterback landscape, it's not many quarterbacks that can go in a playoff game, throw 4 interceptions, and come back. Like, you know what I mean? And make it a game. Like, a lot of quarterbacks don't have that heart or that wherewithal. It can't rally the team like he rallied the team and was able to get them to continue to play. So I think that speaks to him. And then also, I think that speaks to the coaching too. And Doug Peterson, he won him a Super Bowl with the Eagles. You know what I mean? So, I mean, of course, the players have to play. So I'm not giving him all the credit because I would never do that with a coach and players. But I do believe that the coaching area is good enough. And then you look at the Texans. The Texans is one of those organizations, or are one of those organizations, to where we've seen Deshaun Watson have top 2 or 3 season, like quarterback seasons with them. I mean, because let's just be honest. So before Deshaun Watson ended up getting suspended, it was him and Patrick Mahomes, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like him, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. There was a elite quarterbacks, but he was in it. Throwing for 5,000 yards, 39 touchdowns, all that or whatever. So it's like he was up in that upper echelon of quarterbacks with the people that we still talking about now. And of course, Tom Brady's not in the league anymore, so can't add him. But he was up there. But he still didn't take the Texans to do anything. Like they didn't do anything. So with all of those yards, you know what I mean? What was it to show? What did he have to show for it? So the Texans, to me, still don't have, a lot of the talent that they require to do anything if CJ Stroud was even to be that great of a quarterback, unless he's just transcendent, otherworldly. Um, and then the Colts. And Anthony Richardson is just a weird quarterback to me, man. I just can't even. There's not much I can say about him, but it's a question mark. And then Tannehill is Tannehill, like or
Right.
whoever is about to stand over there, but it's Tannehill. Tannehill is the white Tannehill. like, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, running game. I can't remember a time where a running back really carried a team to a Super Bowl. I mean, so
Jamal Lewis.
I think it might have been Terrell Davis. Might have been the last one. But shoot,
Jamal.
Even Terrell Davis had John Elway and all, whatever.
That's why it's Jamal Lewis.
Nah, man, Jamal Lewis. No,
It was Jamal.
that was Ray Lewis. You mean Ray
It
Lewis?
was Jamal. You said running back, man. Running
Yeah,
back.
he
It was
was.
Jamal.
He called some picks and ran that mug back.
It was Jamal Lewis, man. He was back there with freaking Trent Dilfer.
It's cool, bro. Y'all offense didn't get you out of there. It was the defense, but it's cool, man. Great things happen all the time for people who should have never left Cleveland. Uh, but anyway, let's go. Let's switch up to the next division. I'm gonna say AFC West: Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos. This to me is just a no brainer.
Um, Raiders.
That's what's
No,
up.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Because Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. Like,
Yeah, nah, I'm gonna go with the like you said, it's a no brainer. I'm gonna go Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos at the end.
same. Something sneakily telling me that it might be Chiefs, Raiders, but or even Chiefs, Broncos, but I can't even disagree. I gotta put Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. Can't even
Yeah.
disagree with you there. All right, AFC East. This gets a little more interesting here. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Patriots.
Whoa! The Bills will not be the leaders in the AFC East. Says E. I can't put the Dolphins there only because of the quarterback. So I'm gonna still
Yeah,
say
I wanted to not put them first, but the thing is that, like I said, we talked about earlier in the show about teams getting better in the offseason. The Bills didn't get better. They didn't get
Nope.
better. They didn't get worse. They stayed pretty much the same. Like no big moves, no key acquisitions, no big extra hit in the draft. I mean, I want to say they drafted a tight end. All right, that's cool, but you still got Knox. Now that you're just trying to get a nice, second tight end or somebody to come in and down the road, I don't know. But they didn't get better. So that lets me know that one, as an organization, you're putting everything on Josh Allen. And as you know, the football guys are all hanging on Josh Allen's sack. I was trying to think of a better word, but no, it's Tangelos, man. The football guys is hanging on his Tangelos, but everybody want Josh Allen to be the guy. It's him. It's Herbert. They just want them to be that guy. They want this. They want the next white hype to be one of those two. And I'm sorry, it's not going to do it. Josh Allen had a shot. He had a couple of shots. He just couldn't quite get over the hump. The team did not get better. You stayed exactly the same. So when you stay the same, team's going to know how to play you better. And with that being said, in that division, the other teams around you got better. So in that division alone, you got the Dolphins, who got better between the past 2-3 seasons. They made a bunch of key moves last year and still have those people. So it wasn't like a Rams type situation where they got a lot of people on a bunch of 1-year deals and it was a Super Bowl or bust year. Nah, but you still got Tyreek Hill, you still got Waddle. They got a bunch of names on defense out there flying around the ball. You got one of the fastest offenses on turf. And then, you might say they're quarterback way, but before he was getting injured, they were balling. Before he got injured, they were balling. So if he does stay healthy, but you can say that about a lot of quarterbacks. That's anybody. They got to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? The best ability is availability. You know what I'm saying? Take that with you. But so with that being said, like I said, the Bills didn't get better. The Dolphins got better. You can even say the Patriots got better. And then the Jets, we talked about their offseason moves. They definitely got better. So I would go, but I wouldn't go as low as saying the Bills go drop down to number 3. I wouldn't go that far. I would say Dolphins, Bills, Jets. I say the Jets still. I said the Jets still creeping to the playoffs. Like I said, that division could possibly have 3 people going to the 3 people going to the playoffs.
I don't think they will, only because I think the AFC North will be the AFC division that I have 3, and we'll talk about them last here in a minute. But man, it's hard for me not to put the Jets first. I got to put the Jets first, strictly because their defense is solid across the board. And then if one person gets healthy, maybe with the exception of Quentin Williams, then they should still be great. Pretty good everywhere else. Unless, like I said, unless Aaron Rodgers goes down, but then you still got Dalvin Cook, who is a monster at running the ball and doesn't get a lot of accolades like Derrick Henry or Nick Chubb for obvious reasons, but still a home run hitter when it comes to running the ball. The Bills, I got to put them second. And their defense is really, really good, but the caveat to their defense is it looks so much more of a threat when Von Miller is active. When Von Miller is active, it just looks totally different. And it's crazy to say that about an older pass rusher, you know what I mean? But literally when Von Miller steps on the field, it looks like night and day to me. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just because of his impact, on those drives that he's in, or if it's that Super Bowl effect. I don't know, man. Like when he is on the field, it just looks different to me. Then I'm gonna just say Dolphins and Patriots. I mean, the Patriots still are always respectable. I mean, they made it to the playoffs. They just didn't do anything. But I don't know, man. Nah, I got to switch it up. Nah, I'm sorry. I got to do Jets, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins. I'm going to just leave it like that. And then the explanations are what they are. Tua's hurt. And hopefully, to make my prediction right, the Patriots will have to be better in the red zone. So we'll see. All right, last but not least, before we go to the next topic and the last topic, the AFC North, where both of our favorite teams reside, we have the Steelers, the Browns, the Ravens, and the Bengals. I already know who you got. Mister, I ain't trying to be biased.
So, yeah, of course, we got Baltimore. We're going to go Baltimore, Cincinnati. And you know what? We're going to go Pittsburgh, Cleveland last. That's what
you being disrespectful now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure I am, Ray. And I'm gonna stand on it. Nah, I'm just gonna play. I'm just joking. I don't have Cleveland going last. I do got going Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland coming 3, and then I do got Pittsburgh coming in last this year.
The interesting fact that I was telling you before we even hopped on, right before we hopped on, is that a lot of pundits that I hear or listen to, or even articles that I read, have the Steelers coming in the division and leading the division. And their speculation is that Kenny Pickett is going to be that good. I'm here to tell you that the Browns or the Ravens will be the first in the division. The Bengals will be third, and the Steelers will be last. Here's my premise. Kenny Pickett is not going to be that guy. That's number one. Steelers defense will be good, but they'll have to be turnover, pick six, or get us in great field position good for them to win, which they probably will do some games. The Ravens, the only question I really have about them is just injury. But you're right, they did get better. I told you about Kyle Hamilton last year. He was as good as advertised. I think Zay Flowers will be just as good as advertised on the offensive side. Lamar Jackson is just proven. Like people really need to stop questioning that man. So he's proven. So I would have to put y'all first if I'm just being unbiased. Put y'all first just because of Lamar Jackson effect. Period. And then the defense is pretty good, barring injury. We're good on paper, but again, like I said earlier, on paper, our defense got way better. Especially, I just love the addition of Jim Schwartz because he runs solid defenses. So we should look way better. Because on paper last year we looked pretty decent, but we couldn't stop a cold. Here's my thing with the Bengals: Joe Burrow. We don't know when he'll play. For one,
They're talking about he actually ready for week 1. He actually ready. I don't think they're gonna play him, but I heard some talks that he could be ready for Sunday.
now if he's ready and he's available for Sunday and he plays us week 1, then then that order could change. But I really think it's going to be Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers, and I think that Ravens, Browns, and Bengals all make it to the playoffs because I don't think any of those teams will be under 10 wins. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying earlier about the AFC East division. I'm not saying that it's going to be 3 teams that make the playoffs out of that division, but I'm saying that's another division that's also possible because you definitely got 3 teams that are playoff contenders. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, you can't really slouch on Bill Belichick. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
just even sneak getting them in on the 10 win. You know what I mean? Like I haven't looked at their schedule, but Bill Belichick is like if his schedule says 10 wins, then you can probably book them for the 9 or the 10 wins. Uh,
right.
Generally speaking,
But
'cause I
that's what
mean,
I'm saying. Like the Bills, like I said, I agree with you with the AFC North sending 3 teams to the playoffs. But all I'm saying is that the AFC East also has it's also a possibility for them as well, just because you got Buffalo that's easily a 10+ win team. You got the Jets that can possibly win 10+ games with Aaron Rodgers. And then even Miami. Miami was even with all the injuries and stuff that they had, they can still go out there and win 10 games.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I just think that depending on who plays when, because I know we play the Jets. I think that's our off AFC division because we play our division, then we play one other AFC division and one other NFC division. I think the Jets division, the AFC East, is our off division this year, if I'm not mistaken. I know we play the Jets for sure. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, but anyway, so yeah, so everybody that's listening or will be listening, that is our predictions for the divisions. You heard it here first. Check it out. Probably not this week, but next week when we come back on, I'll start doing some not fantasy. We'll do some fantasy talk too, but we'll mostly do our analysis. We'll do a little bit of fantasy talk, and then I'll be providing some betting for you. I'm not gonna give y'all everything, but I'll give y'all a little bit. I was about 82% last year on the 4-3 podcast for the bets that I did provide. Overall, probably was about 60. I had to look at my spreadsheet, but I kept track. I had to look at it. But man, ain't none of y'all business. Y'all can pay to have that information. Ain't none of y'all business. And don't ask again. No, I'm just playing. but I'll give y'all some betting next time we come on when I do a little bit more analysis on the numbers and what they look like. But
About
anyway,
to say it might be kind of early to just be throwing some stuff out, get out here and everybody be pissed week 1. Like what the fuck?
yeah, for sure. But I could have still thrown them out, looked at the numbers and the betting favorites, and gave some good bets out. But just based off the numbers. But anywho, shout out to my boy Darius for showing me how to do that a couple years ago and look at it respectfully and figure it out. Now I'm a beast with the NFL. Shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you. All right, so moving on from the divisions, we're going to talk about our last topic, which is early accolade predictions. This is to see who at the end of the year will be hoisting trophies, all kinds of trophies.
How you want to do it? You want to just run through them, or do you want to shine a little light on each one?
If you got something you want to shine a light on, go ahead. Let's start off with rookie of the year.
Um, Rookie
Offensive,
of the
defensive,
year,
of course.
offensive rookie of the year. I got, like I said, I'm trying not to be so biased. You know what I'm saying?
Because you
So
wanted to
I
say
got to be.
Zay Flowers.
I did want to say Zay Flowers, but I don't know what type of production he's going to have with our team. Is he going to be used?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Bijan Robinson, I have him down for offensive rookie of the year, just because I think that he's needed more, if that makes sense. I think he's
Yeah,
needed
he'll
more
see more
to
of the
that
ball.
system. So he's going to be more involved into the offense. Where Zay Flowers is needed, but as him as a receiver, like I said, we got Nelson Aguilar, we got Rashad Bateman coming back, you got Odell. So those are three, experienced. You got two veterans and you know over novice experience receivers. So do you put Zay Flowers at the fourth receiver? You know what I'm saying? Is he only going to come in, special packages, take little, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how much production he actually is going to have. I even got him in my fantasy as well because I wanted to go ahead and grab him. Just a quick sidebar, just in case. Like if we get him,
Mm-hmm.
if I see on Sunday how they're going to use him, and it's like, oh, he touching the ball 10, 15 times a game,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I think he'll make a nice run for rookie of the year. But like I said, Bijan Robinson is probably going to easily get about 30 touches a game, whether that's a pass, whether it's a handoff, whatever. They're going to find a way to get that man the ball and to get in open space as well. So I think he's going to have a bigger impact. So if I had to put some money on it, I'll say Bijan Robinson, number
Okay.
one. And I even put Zay Flowers as a runner up.
Okay. Zay Flowers is one of them. All right. So who you got defense?
Uh, it's real hard for me to say this. It's real hard. Uh, I'm gonna say Joey Porter Jr.
Oh yeah, that was definitely hard to say.
It's hard to say. It was hard to write. It's even harder to actually say it out loud because one, he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. Two, his dad gave us problems for way too long. And Joey Porter was a beast. Even though he was
Yeah,
in the
it
wrong
was a
jersey,
beast.
he was a dog.
Gotta respect him.
So I know his son play a different position and all. Of course, they're not the same player, but like he was talking about that Pittsburgh defense earlier, like they're going to be good. I think with his name and the team that they got, they intend to use him. So I think he's going to get a lot of playing time. You never know what happens with different injuries and stuff like that. Because I don't know where he is on the depth chart. I don't know if he's a starter or not. But I know with the type of defense that they have, he will be on the field, and he's also a playmaker. So we'll see if that transitions to the to the NFL. So if I had to pick a defensive rookie, I'll go with Joey Porter Jr. at corner.
Good pick. Wasn't expecting that one for sure, but that is a good pick. I don't know if he'll get enough time to play, but we'll see.
What
Uh,
about you?
my offensive my offensive one is Bijan Robinson, of course. Like that to me, that's just a little easy to see for sure in terms of the usage rate. I don't necessarily know if he'll get 30, but he'll get enough, and then he's good enough. He's talented enough. Let me put it that way, to where he should do great for a rookie, because I don't see where a lot of their touchdowns will come from unless like it's short red zone passes to the big guys like I spoke about earlier. But Bijan Robinson, my actual runner up, believe it or not, is Jackson Smith and Jigba going to Seattle. That's my runner up for the offensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year, I'm going with Jalen Carter, and to me, Jalen Carter with the Eagles, and I said Jordan Davis earlier. Jordan Davis does play for the Eagles, but I meant Jalen Carter when I was talking about. Oh no, I didn't mean him when I was talking about upfront. But when I said rookie, I wasn't talking about Jordan Davis. I was talking about Jalen Carter. When I was talking about getting better up front when they let go of Hassan Reddick, and you said the rookie guy from the Georgia Bulldogs, Jalen Carter was that guy. So
Yeah.
I think Jalen Carter is is big enough up front where he'll stop a lot of runs, of course. But I think in the NFC North, or not NFC North, NFC East, with those teams like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to run into Jalen Carter a few times. Let me put it that way, just running the ball. Same thing with Vanilla Vic, as they want to call him. I'm about to stop calling him that because it's disrespectful to Vic to me, even though Vic like it because I listened to his interview. But to me, it's kind of disrespectful. But anyway, I guess it don't matter what I think. But yeah, so I just think they'll run into him a lot. I think he's big enough to push the pocket along with Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox. So I just think he'll eat a little bit based off of the personnel they got around him on the defensive side. All right, so what you want to touch on next, bro? I chose to start. What you want to go to next?
Let's go. Let's just go offensive and defensive players, and then we'll just save MVP for last.
All right, bet. Offensive and defensive. Who you got?
Offensive, I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey. Basically, man, the same storyline as far as with Bijan Robinson. Man, he's going to get a lot of touches. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. That offense out there, and we talked about San Francisco earlier. They got a lot of weapons, man. They got what they call it, a positionless offense, and then you can line up people anywhere. He can line up at wide receiver. He can line up at fullback, tight end. Take you know what I'm saying, hike the ball, play, being a wildcat, put him at quarterback. He's also one of them people that's probably going to get about 30 touches. You know what I'm saying? And when I say touches, everybody, I don't want y'all to think like, oh, he's going to run the ball 30 times. No, I mean, like, the ball is going to be in his hand at least 30 times. That means screens. That means handoff.
Him, to be honest, though, to be real with you, sometimes it might be even more than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, that's what I mean. Like, at least I see him at least getting the 30. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If he get anything lower than 30, that means somebody else is doing a great job, or they shutting him down, or they just being stupid. So I got Christian McCaffrey out of San Fran, and then defensive player, man, I'm gonna go with Roquan Smith. You know what I'm saying? The Baltimore. You feel me? Okay. I had to. Like, just one, when I'm thinking about defensive people, I think, of course, as a Baltimore fan, we was definitely grateful enough to have a Ray Lewis, which, you know, we got a chance to witness a generational talent. You know what I'm saying, at that position.
He just got voted something like greatest player or greatest impacted player of all time or something like that too. I gotta look it up and see. We'll talk about that next show.
Yeah, no doubt. Hell yeah. But so the thing is with Roquan, that's right now, as far as in the Baltimore uniform, the closest thing I've seen to Ray Lewis. He can run sideline to sideline. I haven't really seen him too much in the pass coverage type deal like Ray Lewis, but as far as coming up, stuffing a run, making plays on the edge, putting pressure on the quarterback, he can pretty much do it all. Like I said, I'm not too sold on his
pass
coverage. Yeah, his pass coverage. Not saying, and I know it's pretty good, but I just don't know where to rate that talent for him. But right now, man, I got Roquan, man. I think Roquan can do it.
Gotcha. Offense, I'm gonna say Justin Jefferson, for Justin Jefferson reasons, and I don't really believe in picking MVPs that are not offensive or defensive player of the years as well. But I'm gonna go against that, and you'll see why here in a minute. Something that you explained to me, by the way. But Justin Jefferson will be an MVP candidate or offensive player of the year candidate. And then my defensive player of the year is Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, and I was looking up this research. I heard it on the radio. And it was a call in on the radio up here at 92.3 The Fan. I'm gonna give them their credit because this is where I heard of that. A user or a caller was saying that Myles Garrett is the only player to have 16 sacks in 3 seasons, 16 or more sacks in 3 seasons, since Reggie White did it. So I'm like, nah, man, that's got to be wrong. So I look it up. I'm looking it up, and I have not yet found anyone that has 16 or more sacks in 3 consecutive seasons. It's since Reggie White so far. So it's like, dang, even if you think Joey Bosa did it, Joey Bosa didn't. He had 15, then 22, and then 16 or 17 or something like
I
that.
mean, they could have took one from that year. He had 22.
Hey,
Did it
but you
over.
can't pass the test from the year before that you ain't passed, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking, yeah, he did. I'm like, man, could have swore Joey Bosa did. Look it up. Nope. You know what I'm saying? And everybody you would think that had those great Pantheon years, you like, nah, they didn't. I'm looking at JJ Watt, and I'm like, JJ Watt had to. He did, but years he was playing. Because remember, he was getting injured in between. So I was like, dang, okay. So he did get 16, 16, 16, but it was 16, then 5 because he got hurt, then 16, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like so spread out due to that. And I got to look that up again so I can give the accurate years and the accurate numbers. But it's like, that'd be wild. And I think with the addition of Darius Smith, and I think Owosu will come back to his rookie year because he was balling before he got hurt his rookie year. Looked a little suspect last year. I think he'll get back to form since he's healthy on the outside. And Anthony Walker Jr. is decent in coverage. I ain't gonna say great because if he was great in coverage, we'd be talking about him like we'd be talking about Ray Lewis because he let some stuff go over his head all the time. But with those outside additions that we got, and Taki is a solid outside linebacker too. It should be freed up a little bit with Dalvin Tomlinson coming in too. Like he should be getting some good easy little sacks in there. So he should make it happen. And if he can get up into that 20 range, that 22 range, you know what I mean? He'll be the defensive player of the year. So I'll go with offensive player of the year, Justin Jefferson. Defensive player of the year, it will be Myles Garrett. What would be crazy is if Nick Chubb actually won an offensive player of the year and Myles Garrett won a defensive player of the year, then I would just be over the moon. You won't be able to tell me nothing. But but we'll see how that goes. I wanted to go that route, but I'm like, man, I ain't about to do that.
Well,
it's not about to do that.
guess what, bro? You should have did it because MVP Lamar Jackson. We into the MVP thing. Let's go. Lamar Jackson MVP, Roquan Smith Defensive Player of the Year. If you ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And let's go. Lamar Jackson is gonna have more than 36 touchdowns, more than 3,000 yards passing, and he's gonna get MVP, another unanimous decision. Again, let's go. Lamar Jackson MVP.
MVP conversation. This one's a little rough for me because I'm looking at the landscape and I'm looking at which quarterback, because 9 times out of 10 is going to be a quarterback who is going to get the MVP, even if another player has a better year at another position. They can't prop the team up like normal, which is my reason for picking the quarterback for the MVP. And I believe that quarterback is going to be none other than Jalen Hurts. And it's the same reason why you pick Lamar, except for I think Lamar, or I think I can't even say his name now. Jalen Hurts.
Lamar Jackson.
Jalen Hurts will have at least 40 plus touchdowns passing, 8 to 10 rushing, and he's gonna be right back into the conversation of going to the bowl because his division is trash. So I'm just saying, like,
right, but that's why it's gonna be Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson, they was talking about his health, man. They were saying they was talking about his contract for the last 2 seasons. Now you got the contract, you got the new offensive coordinator, you got the new weapons that you asked for.
I mean, I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson cannot be the MVP. He's already got one. He got a unanimous. All I'm saying is that.
And the thing is that even with you saying that, the year that he won the MVP, he was throwing the ball to Willie Snead.
I mean, I can't dispute that. I watch y'all games just like I watch mine. Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, who was his receivers? Who
Man,
was
don't
his
do Willie
receivers?
Snead, bro. Don't be doing Willie Snead like that, bro.
Don't get me wrong, bro. I like Willie Snead. I used to love Willie Snead. Why? Because he was on my team. So I needed that because he was on my team. So I rooted for Willie Snead. But when you really break it down, who was he throwing the ball to that year when he won a unanimous? He won a unanimous MVP when it was just him, Mark Andrews, and Ingram. You feel me?
Man, I'm gonna just say he won a unanimous, and then I'm gonna just move along, bro. Because I
And,
don't want
and I
to
and I want to say in that year, I want to say he had like 36 touchdowns,
Yeah,
passing touchdowns.
I think he had 36.
So
Yeah.
so you're telling me you had 36 touchdowns, passing touchdowns, with a below par receiving core, which is a fact. You fast forward, you've been in the league for a while, so now you know what you're looking at for real, for real, for real.
Yes, sir.
And now you got some veteran leadership in your receiving core and some better playmakers out there. Oh yeah, man, you about to go for 50. This is 50.
We're about to see, bro. So you got Lamar. I got Jalen Hurts for the MVP. You got Roquan for defensive. Christian McCaffrey for offensive. I have Justin Jefferson offensive. Myles Garrett for defensive. All right, cool, man. You know what I'm saying? We up there. All right, so now that we got all of that done, man, do you got any extra sheet?
No. The only thing I can say about extra shit is still gonna be football related. Is I'm winning everything this year. It's gonna be a revenge tour. We saying y'all heard me say Lamar Jackson MVP, so I'm gonna just run it all to y'all now since it's the first show and the week starts. Football season starts tomorrow. We're going Ravens Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Ravens Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson MVP. Roquan Smith Defensive Player of the Year. E. Carter winning both fantasy leagues. And getting on top of the Madden, the Madonias, you know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be how the football gods is gonna bless me this season.
Man, football guys. First off, you're not getting the mat, and I'm definitely been running the table on the mat. So I got that. I'm gonna hold that for you, bro. You chill on that.
You got last year. I'll give you
Yeah,
last
I
year.
got last year and the year before
I don't know. The jury's still out
and the
on the
year
year before,
before.
bro. The year
Nah,
before,
bro, come
the
on. You
jury's
said
still out.
head to head. Nah, I beat you on the head to head. All right, bro. Now we got to
But the year
call Woo
before,
because you made Woo the deciding factor, bro.
the year before, the jury's still out on the year before. I felt like I still hold my crown from the year before. It was barely, but I think I was still holding on to that much. Now last year, yeah, you definitely got last year on the Madden, but like I
Last
said,
year and
it's
the year
time for
before.
revenge. It's
It
time.
ain't,
It's a
bro.
revenge tour. It's a
So
revenge tour.
I'm gonna just hold on to the Madden, bro. The fantasy league, it's not happening, bro. I let S Dot, man. I ain't even gonna say I let him win. I just didn't even put my matchup up there. He was sorry about that too, which he expressed on the 4-3 podcast. Check that out when they come back. Of course, shameless plug. But you're not winning neither one of those, so you better hope all the Ravens do everything that you think they gonna do.
I'm winning all of them.
That's what's up, bro. Just win out of everything else that don't got nothing to do with me, bro. but yeah, man. So yeah, so we got that, man. If y'all listen to the show, but when y'all rewatch it, just change everything he said. The Siege is winning, and then the Browns and all the Browns replaced that for the Ravens. All right, appreciate y'all for that. All right, so any closing remarks, bro, before we get out of here?
No, I think I said everything, man. Y'all see me, Ravens out here, man. Have a great week one. Enjoy your weekend coming up of football. Game one starts tomorrow, or the first game is tomorrow. Real quick. Chiefs or Lions?
Chiefs or Lions, game one. Oh, that's tough.
I'm going.
My head telling me Chiefs, my heart telling me Lions.
Well,
I'm gonna go with my heart and say Lions.
All right, cool. I went Chiefs. All right, cool.
All right.
But other than that, that's all. That's all I got. Y'all
Right.
y'all have a great weekend, man. Enjoy the show. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. And you can always catch me and Siege as well as our other co-host, that guy 937 over there at First Class Podcast.
Yes, sir. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. All of the Link Entertainment stuff is at the bottom of the screen. Follow us on Twitter at the Link ENT LLC. Facebook the same. Instagram the Link Entertainment LLC. YouTube the Link Entertainment LLC as well. So don't forget to do all of that. I do wanted to announce that we finally got a date for the Anime Maniacs. The Anime Maniacs will be debuting on Sunday evening, September 14th. Me and my co-host Aaron will be talking about anime and animation. I mean, we talking about everything, man. We just gonna nerd out on y'all, so y'all can come and nerd out with us on September the 14th. I'll be posting the ad up soon on that once I get the time nailed down. But yeah, man, we ready. I'm excited for that. That's another pet project like this one. So yeah, we're gonna get it together for y'all. So just follow us at all of the information you see at the bottom. You can catch that on all of that at the bottom. Still working on the network stuff, but once we get that nailed down and I get the structure down for that, you'll see everything that we produce on that as well. So stay looking out for the Grind Media Collective. But anyway, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank you for coming to the C Podcast, sports, entertainment, and extra
Extra
shit.
shit. Let's go Ravens.
Until next time, go Browns. Much love and peace to y'all. Stay safe.
Go Ravens.
Nah.